Welcome to Success Through Connections, and I'm your host, Zelda. I want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're on all the different podcast apps, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, you name it, we're there. So I hope you will come and join us by subscribing. All right, today I have a really cool guest. I always have cool guests, though. I have Greg Harris. Let me tell you about Greg. I just so admire this fella. So how we met years ago, and I don't even know how many years ago, but it's been a while. We met by a mutual connection, invited us to one of those wealth financial seminars. We'll feed you a good meal and you can listen to us. And that's how we met. And it was a good meal. It was at Sawgrass Marriott. And I remembered it was filet mignon. I remember those good meals. And Greg happened to be at the table with me with his then girlfriend, who now I believe is his wife. So that's how I met him. And then we got reconnected many years later. Greg was a mortgage lender. So because I'm a realtor, you always need a lender. So there Greg was. So that is how I know Greg. And we got reconnected again recently by me joining one of the chambers in my area. And he happened to be there too. And it was such a great, warm feeling to, when you walk into a room full of strangers, that there's that one person that you know. So there's that connection. It was just awesome. So Greg, welcome to Success Through Connections.
Thanks so much, Zelda. Thank you.
So I'm going to get started here. I know that you were in the mortgage business. I don't know how long, but I know it was a whole lot of years. So tell me a little bit about how long you were in the mortgage business. And then what was the turning point that made you decided, I'm going to retire from this business?
36 years. I started here in Jacksonville, and the company I was with opened an office in Savannah, Georgia. I moved up there to open the office for them for a couple of years. I tell people Savannah's a great place for a day and a half. And I was there. And
I thought I was the only one that felt that way about Savannah.
Okay, and I was there for 2 years, and the same company says, we're going to North Carolina. Do you want to go? I said, please. And so I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. I was there for 23 years.
Oh.
And coming up on almost 13 years now, I moved back to Jacksonville, had a sick mom. Some other things happened where it just made it convenient for me to come back here. And I've been in the mortgage business up until about 3 months ever since.
Okay, so you were up until, and I know you were recently retired, and so you were retired for all of a nanosecond. So once you decided you were going to retire, was it like you knew right away exactly what you were going to do next, or did you take a minute to breathe?
Well, what happened was I was actually started what I'm doing now before I retired.
Okay.
So I don't say I was retired at all. I just switched gears. I don't know.
You turned a side hustle into the main thing.
Right. Well, right. And what it is, the fellow that got me in the mortgage business 36 years ago, he and I are still friends. And about a year before I met him, his father died of cancer. And he always said, my dad did not die of cancer. My dad died of the chemo as a result of the cancer. Therefore, and his name's Jack. Jack always said, if I ever get cancer, I'm not doing chemo. Well, sure enough, about 12 years ago, Jack got cancer. And as luck would have it, he was dating a girl who was a holistic medicine believer. So she told him what to do. He did all the research and did all the things he needed to do. And now Jack is very healthy. All right.
So that's pretty interesting. Now, so Jack is your friend. His wife is into the holistic thing. And so I'm going to I don't want to jump ahead here, but I'm just going to assume this is how you heard about the stem cell light activating patch that you're now into?
Yes. About 5 years ago. Yes.
So tell us how that happened, how you heard about it and what you understood about the product.
Well, the good thing about, okay, well, Jack and his girlfriend, who's now his wife, which is a good part of that story, they live in Tampa. They called me about doing their loan for them about 4 years ago. I said, send me your financials. And when they did, I saw Amy, who was doing very well in that business. So I thought two things. First of all, wow, this must work. And then secondly, there's money to be made here. So I wrestled with it for about a year or so before I decided to go for it. And about 15 months ago, I decided to, kind of as a favor to Jack, and also with my fingers crossed, hoping it would work, I went for it. And what it is, Zelda, is a patch about the size of a quarter that you wear kind of like a Band-Aid. Yeah, it's this big. And, I thought to myself, there's no way this thing heals people, And so I did it. And the first day I wore the patch, I slept over 8 hours. And I woke up very energetic, laughing at myself out loud, saying, abracadabra, no way this patch works. But it did. And it does.
Well,
So
wait a minute. So you put the patch on and you slept well. Was that the whole purpose of you putting on the patch?
the purpose of me putting on I wasn't even sure why I did it.
Okay, it was just,
Okay.
I'm going to try. Okay, I'm that kind of a person who will do that.
Okay. And see what happens. So I wore the patch for about 3 months. And one day I realized that the arthritis I have in my left ankle is still there, but I'm walking 4 miles a day now. And the bigger issue is when I was in college, I was in a car accident where I almost died. I was in a coma for a week. I hit my head on my left side of my head, and therefore the right side of my body went out, was paralyzed. And they liken it to a stroke. And, people with strokes, you never know how well they'll come back from that. And I came back pretty well, or actually very well. And you wouldn't know this about me unless I told you. Even so, there are things about the right side of my body that never work the same. And about 4 months into me wearing this patch, one day I realized I was able to flex my right pectoral muscle. And again, I laughed out loud about that, which I'd not been able to do in 42 years.
Yeah.
So that was the moment, I guess, that I decided to go for this. And so I've been promoting this patch for almost a year now. All right. And I've had such success with both my own health as well as other people's health who I've introduced this patch to, as well as the business side of it. About 3 months ago, I decided to, you know what? I enjoy this. I get a lot out of it. Frankly, it's not nearly as much stress. So I decided to do this full time.
What kind of other health challenges and ailments does this patch help with?
Well, the first thing I want to say is there's no guarantee for anything. All right. I'm going to give you my best layman's terms description on how it works. Your body emits light. All right. And the light of your body hits the patch, goes back into your body, and regenerates your existing stem cells in your body. And the stem cells in your body go to wherever your body needs it. All right. So, there's no guarantees it'll do what it will do for you, but there's all sorts of testimonials about people whose complexion's gotten better, gray hair has turned dark again, bald heads have grown hair again, joint pain's gone away, and even more serious issues of people's bodies have improved quite a bit. Now, again, how it would affect you is different than how it affects me versus the next person. All right. But what it does help regenerate existing stem cells. And again, the stem cells of your body go to wherever it needs it. So
I did watch the videos you sent. So I don't know that there was a fellow there who had diabetes. Somebody else had a weight issue.
time.
And I remembered asking you if it would do anything for Parkinson's. So you weren't real sure on what the results were. And it sounds to me like it's the way you're describing is if you wear this patch, the stem cell, it knows where to alleviate whatever the issue is. And maybe you'll get results and maybe you won't.
Naturally, your body knows what needs help, and the stem cells in your body is what helps whatever your body needs. So again, what this does, it reactivates existing stem cells. You're not transplanting other people's stem cells. It's your own stem cells that are currently in your body. As we get older, our stem cells work less and less. You hear about when a kid breaks his arm, the arm heals quickly. But an 85-year-old person who falls and breaks their hip, they may not come back from that.
Yes.
And that's because the stem cells of an older person do not work nearly as well as for someone who's younger than that.
So, Greg, is this something that you would have to wear forever then? I mean, if you've fixed whatever it is or you feel better, is this something that's like an ongoing thing? You wear this thing every day forever?
Well, I'll give you my case. I'm wearing one on the back of my neck right now. Okay. And what you do is you wear it for 12 hours and then take it off. What I do is I get up in the morning, I put it on, I go for my 4-mile walk with it on, come home and shower with it on, get dressed for my day, go through my day with it on. And at the nighttime, I take it off and I throw it away. And tomorrow I rinse and repeat. I do the same thing over again. And I won't stop wearing this as long as it continues to make me feel good. All right. And, I've got more energy. I'm more clear in my thinking. I'm sleeping better. Again, the joint issues I talked about have improved for me, and it's been great. I didn't believe it.
I hear all the time that as we age, I guess, I don't know what it is. Fortunately, thank you. I haven't had this issue yet anyway, is people as they age, they have a lot of sleeping problems. They can't sleep through the night, or they have to get up or they just, even if they don't have to get up, they get up after a few hours. It's like, to me, that would just make me feel miserable. I'm so glad I don't have that issue. Thank you.
Well, everyone's experience is different.
Yeah.
That was my experience.
Okay.
And I sleep so much better now. Now that that's not a coincidence. I don't believe that's a coincidence.
Yeah,
Because day one, I slept better and I sleep well every night now. So,
okay, so all you listeners out there that are getting up there in age and you're the ones who are waking up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, this might be something to help you.
if for nothing else, it's worthwhile.
Exactly. And it's not putting drugs into your body.
Right. Which, by the way,
anti that.
there's a term that I learned through this called non-transdermal, which means nothing goes into your body. I think about a nicotine patch, and people wear a nicotine patch to help them stop smoking.
Right.
That's because nicotine goes in your body. That's not the case here. Nothing goes in your body other than the light that your body emits goes back into your body. So there are no side effects from it as well. So,
how long has this product been around?
About 21 years. David Schmidt, the founder and inventor of this patch, was commissioned to develop something for Navy SEALs about 21 years ago to help them with their energy at night. He came up with this, and about 6 years ago is when the X39 patch, which is the main patch, was created to do all the things that I'm talking with you about now.
So what is the name of this product?
Well, it's called LifeWave. There are several patches, but the main patch is called X39. And it does all the things that I just mentioned to you. And so X39 is the main patch.
So you got immediate results.
I did. And everyone's different.
Normal?
Everyone's different. Again, my ankle and my right side I did not notice anything about that until probably the end of 3 months into it is when I really noticed those things.
So while you said everybody is different, there must be some studies or something that show if there are people who they have to take it long term forever, or you know what I'm saying? It's like there's got to be some sort of is it FDA approved? Is it, those things that come up when people are investing in things
Well, it's not a drug, so it does not have to be FDA approved.
Okay, so it's not a drug. Okay, but are there results for people who have the immediate results, but if they stop taking it, the results stopped, or the zero results kept going? If you don't know, you don't know. But
well, what I can tell you is I want to be real careful and make sure that nothing's guaranteed. Okay, and the idea is when you wear the patch, that's when this activation happens.
Okay.
Okay, and therefore, if you don't wear the patch,
so it's not repairing it; it's just making it feel better.
Well, no, it is repairing it. The stem is activating the stem cells in your body. And it's not repairing it. The stem cells are what's repairing your body. Okay.
Okay.
So.
All right. So can you share a story of someone whose life was drastically changed by wearing this patch?
My buddy Jack.
Yeah. So he did not take chemotherapy at all?
No, he did not. He did all things. Well, just to be transparent, this patch did not cure Jack. Okay. But as a result, his holistic processes and habits after the cancer changed his life in making him be holistic as far as how he takes care of himself. And he and his wife, Amy, have been doing this nonstop for about 6 years. And it's all because of their holistic approach. And they have found that this thing works beautifully, just as I have. And several other people that I know have. So
was there one when you transitioned out of the mortgage business and then you got into this, and as you said, you did it while you were doing mortgages, you got into it a while ago. Was there any really big challenge when you finally stopped selling the mortgages and went into this full-time? This was the gig, basically. Was there a difficulty in transitioning from the financial space into the health and wellness industry?
Sure. You know, I mean, I did mortgage loans for 36 years. People know me as a finance guy, a business guy. That's how they know me.
Right.
And when one day I'm telling them what the rates are on the in the market today, and the next day I'm telling them about this off the wall product that helps people's health, yeah, that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
I can
But
be
my enthusiasm, my passion about doing this is there for sure,
right. I know.
and that comes out. That shows.
Yes. It's
So,
yeah.
and
I
so
can
I've
totally relate to that because, people know me as the realtor, but hey, guess what, people? I'm also a keynote speaker on the
there you
stage
go.
and I do this podcast. So I'm more than just a realtor. So it is.
So my idea is, you know, I'm not doing this. Well, I'm doing this to make money, but I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this to help people, and
Right.
the money will follow. And because I feel that way, people see it. You know,
Yeah.
people see it. I'm passionate about it. I talk to everyone I can about it. I'm not pushy about it.
And I was just you took the words out of my mouth. You're not pushy about it because you did tell me about this product when you first learned about it, or maybe not when you first, but when you were getting into it. And I kind of brushed it aside. But then when you sent it to me again recently, I watched all the videos and I listened. I said, I know little, I mean, I'm getting older.
And and I haven't called you back and said, "You ready to sign?" I haven't done
I
that.
don't think
That's
you've ever
not my
done that.
style.
I don't think you've ever done, you're not a pushy guy, not at all. It's like, here's the information, here's the facts. If you're interested, call me. I'll answer your questions and we'll move forward or we won't. It's like,
So my joke when people ask me who this is good for, I always tell people anyone with stem cells, which is everyone. I truly believe everyone
yeah,
can benefit from this. All
that's,
right. And would benefit from this.
that's funny.
But at the same time, I'm not going to push them. They got to be ready and with an open mind about it. So,
Absolutely. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to take a leap into a second career or a passion project?
well, just what you said, be passionate about it. I did not run from the mortgage business. I ran to this. All right. And I believe in what I'm doing. I believe, and, I've had several people tell me that they benefited from it, which is just further confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. Be passionate about what you're doing. And actually, I was thinking about this before we got on this call. If you don't like what you're doing, get out of it. Whatever it is, get out of it. All right.
Yeah.
Life does go on.
Yeah.
And, you may think that you're stuck in a box, but you're not. You know, do something
Be
that you enjoy.
comfortable. And so you're afraid to leave, but you got to get a little uncomfortable if you want to grow.
Right, right. And I'll admit I was a little uncomfortable about it, but I was committed to it. And so at this point, I'm very happy, very glad I'm doing what I'm doing. So,
So, what did you learn from the mortgage world that you're applying to this new business?
well, okay. Some people will love me and some people will not like me at all. And that's on them. You know, how they feel about me is on them. So all I can do is be transparent and be honest and tell people about just be me. That's what I learned. My job as a lender was to meet as many people as I could who can refer business to me, and that was kind of on the surface as far as trying to develop relationships with people like real estate agents, etc. But with what I'm doing now, this will help people. This helps people, no doubt, and therefore I'm going to tell everyone about it I can.
That's awesome. It's your passion project now.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful. So, how has this venture changed your lifestyle?
Only in the way I'm being more healthy about more conscious about my health. Something else I wanted to say is as I get older, that's becoming more and more cognizant to me. I've got to take care of myself. And as I've gotten into this, it's even more evident that I've got to take care of myself as I learn more about how our bodies work and what we can do to help our bodies. Again, it's become more passionate for me to take care of myself and to make other people aware of how simple it is to take care of themselves as well. So it's not the end of the world to do something like this.
And the older you get, the wiser we get in knowing that we have to watch our health more. I've been watching this new author. She came out and said, I think it was something like sitting is the new smoking. In other words, you got to get up and you got to move.
Right.
I watched another one where they're just talking about a friend of mine just won this massive award for being a professional speaker. She's been in it forever. And she was honored with this award. Her name is Pagine. I don't know if you know of her, but
No.
she stands in the shoes of other giants like Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. And she won this massive award. And she was saying that there were a lot of older people that were winning this award. Well, not a lot. There were only 4. And she was one. And she said she noticed that what they had in common were they were all eating healthier. They all get up and they exercise. And she was just naming all these things that these people do to stay healthy. But as they age, they're much more aware of the environment and staying healthy and doing what they can to remain healthy. I mean, genes play a part of it, but not every piece of it. So you got to take care of your health. And
one more thing I'll say, as far as taking care of your body, it also takes care of your mind. I mean, you think more. I'll speak for myself. I think more clearly. I guess I hear the phrase brain fog. That's kind of gone away. I'm just more clear on what I'm trying to do and what I want to do and how I want to accomplish it. I just feel better.
That's wonderful. My dad used to always tell me, he lived to 97. He always said, you have to keep your mind active. You've got to keep your body active so that your brain is active. And that's how you can beat the age thing. That was his secret to longevity. So, Greg, how can our audience connect with you?
A couple ways. Let me give you my phone number.
Okay.
It's 904-347-6480. That's my cell number, which you can call me or text me either way. And my email address is modhealth, HEALTH, tech, TECH, @gmail.com, modhealthtech@gmail.com.
That's wonderful.
And I'd love
put that
to
in the show notes.
I'm sorry?
We'll put that in the show notes.
Okay. And I'd love to have a conversation and share with anyone who wants to hear about it, about what it'll help him with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. That's great. So connect with Greg that way. Either call him up direct or you can email him. So our last question is my signature question.
Okay.
I ask everybody and they all know I'm going to ask it. So can you share with us a story of how an opportunity presented itself to you because of a connection that you had or someone else had the connection that presented itself to you?
Unrelated to this patch business, in the mortgage business, my first mortgage job was with a company called Bank Plus Mortgage up in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm from Jacksonville, but most of my career is in Raleigh. They were headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. When they hired me, they took me to San Antonio for a training, and I met the owner of the company in his 21st floor high-rise penthouse office, beautiful, overlooking the city, and we called him the Wizard of Oz. All right. I go back to Raleigh, go back to work, left that company a couple years later. I read that company was sold to Barnett Bank. And I remember thinking, oh, Barnett, they're from my hometown in Jacksonville, Florida. Cool. Never gave another thought. Fast forward, I moved to Jacksonville almost 13 years ago now. And about 4 years after I moved back, I get a phone call from Jim Rogers. That name sounds familiar to me. Who's Jim Rogers? So I Googled him. He looked familiar to me too. I didn't know who he was. So we met and had lunch. And as we're talking, bells started to ring. He's the Wizard of Oz. He's the fellow I met in San Antonio. When he sold his business to Barnett Bank, part of his deal was to move here and run their operations for a year. And he and his wife, Linda, moved here and settled here. And now Jim's a friend of mine. You know, he's not Mr. Big. Oh, he is Mr. Big, but I think of him as a friend more than I do the Wizard of Oz.
I was going to say more than the Wizard of Oz.
It's a small world. So
very small world.
And he's helped me in my mortgage career quite a bit.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's a cool story. I love it. The Wizard of Oz is no longer the wizard. He's now Jim.
Right.
That's a great story, Greg. Great story. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time. I hope that our listeners will not forget to subscribe, number one, and reach out to Greg if you want to learn more about this incredible light patch. And maybe you want to invest in it. Maybe you want to just wear it, whatever it is. Greg is the guy to talk to for that. So that is our show for today. Remember that success is not created in isolation. It takes connections. So keep on reaching out and making those connections. See you next week.
Thank you, Zelda.